I went to a conservation dinner in North Carolina. It was hosted at Richard Childress. He puts up a huge tent and raises a lot of money for conservation. And I meet this gentleman, we all did. I heard him speak, and you're all gonna get to hear him. When I heard this veteran that you're gonna meet speak under that tent, I wish every young person in America was sitting in that tent to hear him, to feel the emotion, his love of this country that needs to be passed on. I'm happy now to share with you our Defender of Freedom Award winner for 2023 is combat veteran, surface warfare officer, Vann Morris. Vann, come up here. You guys get ready. You're not even gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. You're gonna really love America after you hear him. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. How are you all feeling today? That wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Now listen, I served in Afghanistan, and I received a warmer welcome from the Taliban and Al Qaeda. Now you're living in the best country on the planet. How are you feeling today? All right. My friends, Johnny, thank you, sir, for allowing me to have an opportunity to play a small role on this great day. It's an honor to be here. My friends, I bring you greetings from the beautiful city of Tampa, Florida. It's an honor to be here. And I stand before you today to recite a poem. And the poem is called Old Glory. And it's a personification of the United States flag. But before I do that, I want to try and connect with you all in a very special way by letting you know what I've been up to lately. And Johnny hit on just some of it. So I'm part of that wave to go across this country and try and heal America. So I have two lines of effort that I'm going after. Number one is honoring those who have served our great nation. And number two, it is teaching our children the value of freedom. So I'm going from coast to coast, from pillar to post, talking to corporations, nonprofits, schools, that includes public schools, and sporting venues, anybody that will allow me to come in and say a few words about America's common sense core values. Now, talking about that first line of effort, honoring those who serve, that not only includes paying tribute to our veterans and our service members, but it's also recognizing that there is a healing component to that. There's a healing component. And specifically what I mean is, take for example the Vietnam veterans. They're still with us today. And I met 300 of our pilots, from the Vietnam era, that were shot down and captured. And I met those gentlemen over there in Anaheim, California. So at their 50th anniversary for being released. So those veterans, some of them, when they came back to America, you know the story. They were spat on. We simply want to say we love you. We thank you for your service. And we have service members that are still missing. The families are here on this Christmas season. They're waiting. And some of these families have been waiting for decades for simple answers. They don't know if their service member is still alive or not. We want to reach out to those family members. And lastly, we have veterans to the tune of 30,000. Between the years of 2001 and 2021, 30,000 service members and veterans committed suicide. That's 30,000 too many. Now compare that to 6,000 roughly service members that died in combat or in training. You're looking at more than 4.5 times the service members that died by taking their own life than died in combat. And I want to tell each and every one of you that you are a part of mitigating those numbers. There are so many organizations out there that are utilizing the great outdoors, horseback, hunting, fishing, boating, to help mitigate suicide, and it is working. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your professionalism, for your can-do spirit, in helping in conserving our great resources. So give yourselves a hand. And lastly, I said, teaching our children the value of freedom. I'm so thankful that this year I have spoken to over 20,000 public school students about America's core values. And there's so much more work to be done. And I'll give you this one quick story and then we'll get to this recital. So about a month and a half ago, I met a Generation Z person. For those of you who don't know that age group, that's all of our Americans between the ages of roughly 9 years old and 24 years old. So this young lady, she was in Cowtown, Texas, that's Fort Worth. So I talked to her at a restaurant and we got to talking there about America. And then I asked her, I said, so if you could change anything about America's core values, or better yet, if you could change anything about America's traditions, what would you change? She said, well, I'll change the national anthem. I said, okay, all right. Well, is there anything in particular you don't like about the national anthem? Well, I just think it doesn't represent everybody. So I just changed it up a little bit so it can be more inclusive. I said, okay, I understand. I said, well, you do know the lyrics to the national anthem. She said, yeah. I said, well, tell me, what do you think is the last punctuation mark in our national anthem? What's the punctuation mark after the last word in our national anthem? Is that a period? Is it a question mark? Is it an exclamation mark? She said, it's an exclamation mark. I said, yeah. I said, I can understand how you come to that conclusion. You know, we sing it with such passion. I said, but it is not. Our national anthem ends with a question mark. And actually, there's many question marks in the national anthem, and you will not find an exclamation mark, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a period. And she said, well, what's the question? I said, well, the question is, oh, say does. Oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave? Does it? Does it wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave? Question mark. She said, didn't know that. And I said, I want you to hear our national anthem differently from here on for the rest of your life. I want you to hear it in this manner. When it says, oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave, hear it in this manner. Hear it as a challenge to you and to me, to all of us. Are you doing your part to keep that banner waving? That's how I want you to hear that. That ending punctuation is a question to you. Are you doing, everybody wants freedom, everybody wants liberty, everybody wants equality, and all these great things, I said to her. Are you doing your part to ensure that? And she said, never thought of it that way. And then I said, so do you still want to change it? She said, nah, we can keep it. We can keep it. You see, with our Generation Z, they are going to run this country, and they're going to do a great job. But sometimes you simply have to meet people where they are. So you all keep me in your prayers as I move forward on my mission. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without any further delay, let us begin.